Welcome back to another episode of Out Loud Geek, where we discuss news and views about pop culture, science fiction, fantasy, food, cooking, the outdoors, and more. It's time, once again, for another depressing dose of dismal Disney. Just to warn everyone watching this video, it's going to be very difficult for me to not burst out laughing from time to time because this news is absolutely hilarious. This is truly a dismal day not only for Disney, but also for Kathleen Kennedy. Yes, folks, Disney's Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser hotel has failed. The hotel is going to be permanently closed as of September 30th of this year, with its final voyage starting on September 28th. Since well before this ill-conceived hotel opened in March of last year, I said in a video that I had released in August of 2021 that this thing would more than likely fail, and the reasons are very simple. Number one, it's unaffordable to most people. By charging a minimum fee of over $4,800 for 2 adults, which didn't even include any children, it pushed the price point way beyond what most people could afford. And if you did want to bring 2 children, then the price would go up to $6,000. How many people can afford that? Clearly very few. I released a video in April of last year talking about how many people could potentially afford to stay at the hotel. Number 2, by being a purely immersive Star Wars experience, the Galactic Starcruiser was only ever going to appeal to very hardcore Star Wars fans, and they only make up a very tiny percentage of the entire US population. Even people who like Star Wars but aren't hardcore fans probably had very little, if any, interest in staying at this hotel, and that was probably also in part because of the unaffordable cost. And number 3, Disney decided to base the Galactic Starcruiser solely on Kathleen Kennedy's disastrous and divisive sequel trilogy instead of George Lucas's original trilogy or the prequels. This automatically caused the hotel to appeal to an even smaller percentage of the Star Wars fandom, because not all fans like the sequel trilogy. Many fans, including myself, can't stand it. And many people stopped being fans altogether because of the sequel trilogy. In that same video that I had just referenced, I also estimated how many hardcore Star Wars fans there might be and correlated that with how many people could possibly afford to stay at the hotel. And here's what I said in that video. Given that there are roughly 329.5 million people living in the US, we can guess that there are roughly 65,900 to 82,400 people in the US who probably want to stay at the Galactic Starcruiser Hotel who can also afford to do so. So at most, that's about 0.025% of the entire US population. And since we know that there are 100 rooms in the Galactic Starcruiser Hotel, if we assume that the maximum occupancy for any room is 4 people, that would mean that a fully booked voyage would have about 400 guests. If we divide the lower figure of 65,900 people by 400 people per voyage, that would come to around 165 voyages. For the upper figure of 82,400 people, that would be around 206 voyages. And since a new voyage was beginning every 2 days, that works out to around 330 days to 412 days. 330 days to 412 days after the hotel's opening date of March 1st, 2022 works out to the dates of January 25th to April 17th of this year, which was 1 month ago. So just based on my guesses from over a year ago that were based on limited information and some assumptions, the hotel, which hasn't been able to reach full occupancy for several months, has essentially already gone through the range of hardcore Star Wars fans who want to stay there and are able to afford it. So my guesses weren't that far off, it would seem. Wow. And there are probably another 247,000 to 264,000 people who want to stay at the hotel but can't afford to do so. So what does all of this say? That none of the decisions that Disney made for the Galactic Starcruiser were smart business decisions. They were all stupid decisions, which is why the overpriced hotel has failed. So just like Kathleen Kennedy's sequel trilogy being completely devoid of any common sense, so too is the now failed Galactic Starcruiser Hotel. Then there were also the very troubling signs earlier this year when some of the Starcruiser's cast members started to post videos on TikTok saying that they were leaving the hotel.
I am leaving the Galactic Starcruiser.
I'm officially leaving the Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser.
At the time, it wasn't clear whether they had left of their own accord or if they had been laid off by Disney. But it's pretty clear now that whoever is still working there is going to be out of a job as of September 30th. So if you've been desperately saving your pennies to try to afford to spend 3 glorious days and 2 fun-filled nights at Disney's very overpriced Galactic Starcruiser Hotel, and you still don't have enough money to stay there, I hate to tell you this, but you're out of luck. I hope you find something else that's a lot better to spend your money on. Had Disney been intelligent enough to include characters from the original trilogy and the prequels, as well as lower the price by more than half, then maybe the Galactic Starcruiser would have succeeded. But as it stands, it's just one more example of Disney's and Kathleen Kennedy's complete incompetence in managing the Star Wars franchise. Thanks for watching today, and a huge thanks to everyone who has subscribed to our channel. We appreciate your support. If you enjoyed this video, please press the like button, and please feel free to share a comment. If you'd like to see more of our videos in the future and help support this channel, please press the red subscribe button, and please press the bell to receive notifications for new content. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter by clicking on the links in the description. Until next time, this is Out Loud Geek.